Since 2002, Discovery Vitality has hosted an annual event which brings together the brightest minds in healthcare and wellness. It aims to help build a healthier nation by staying in touch with global health matters.
We know in South Africa, in fact globally, we've got a significant issue with non-communicable diseases. And what's interesting is that the solution doesn't necessarily sit within the medical fraternity. It sits in the much broader community. And the idea here is bringing the wellness industry together, the personal trainers, the dietitians, the biokineticists, the doctors, as well as people in normal society, how we design our buildings, people in the food industry, to see how can we actually help prevent the development of diabetes, obesity, hypertension. And that's the idea of the summit, is to elevate, understand how our minds work, understand the barriers that we have to lead a healthy lifestyle, to have those debates and really come up with innovative solutions around these things.
Big brands were present at the summit to provide information to the health industry. Flora's resident nutritional expert, Bridget Oswell, was at the expo and explained why this brand was being represented at the event.
A brand like Flora gets involved in this because we know that cardiovascular disease is the second biggest killer in South Africa. And we also know that we have a product such as Flora Proactive that really works to effectively lower your cholesterol. And so for us, it's really about educating the public and educating the people at these events just so they know what they can do to include in their diets or make the necessary changes to really improve the health of their hearts and to reduce their cholesterol levels.
Speakers at the summit ranged from businessmen and sports scientists to nutritional experts and the likes of running legend Bruce Fordyce.
I think, these summits are like the forefront of the latest thinking in the subject of health. So I think they're very, very important. I mean, I got quite a shock as I was on stage and I walked up onto the stage and I suddenly saw all these people. I thought there'd be like 100, but no, there's like 1,000. So no, it's going really well and looks like there's a lot of interest and a lot of enthusiasm.
Dr. Derek Yach is a leading expert on the subject of global health and an analyst of international healthcare policy. As a South African, he has a special interest in the country's healthcare development through events like this summit.
Based on my experience being in the World Health Organization, being in the private sector, and now with Discovery's Vitality Group, it's very clear that the one thing that we really need to encourage is a shift towards a greater focus on health promotion and prevention. The treatment and care world is strong, it's needed for people who are sick, but it isn't going to shift the long-term trends, and it isn't going to do much about the long-term costs of healthcare and the debt of many nations driven by that healthcare costs. The good news, of course, is that Discovery and Vitality's programs growing worldwide are showing that they are cost-effective, relatively simple measures that can be taken to actually bend those trends. And that's something that we hope to expand globally and do so in partnership with governments.
With plenty of sport and performance health-related exhibits and speakers at this year's summit, it was no surprise to find Mornay du Plessis in attendance.
As all the speakers today said, it's the small little pockets of difference that are going to change behavior. And this is not small. I mean, this has grown from the first time we had it 9 years ago. I think there were 200 delegates. We had it in Cape Town, to 1,500 people who are influencers in this field of wellness, sports performance and health. They go out into the country and everybody makes that little bit of difference. For us, it's important.
The Discovery Vitality Summit is just the start of a nationwide conversation that will ultimately help us all to live better and healthier.